Hey everybody, it's Kenny K again. And before we begin, I got a new flick for you. Subscribe to our mini horror community. It's only getting bigger, slowly but bigger. And let's have some horror fun together, right? So I wanted to review Alone in the Dark, which I actually saw this movie really late, and I saw this title. Oh, that's like the video game. I had a PlayStation 1 and I had the game, so I thought, is that a video adaptation from the game? Let's see. Nope, it isn't. 1982 gets a 6.0 on IMDb, which I agree with. 6 points on 10. 6 on 10. Has Jack Palance as Frank Hawkins, Donald Pleasence as Dr. Leo Cook Brains. I mean, the reason why I'm doing this is I think he could easily be one of the inmates. He's super crazy. His method of handling with people is like hugging people and really making social hand gestures and shit like that. I wouldn't like a doctor like that. And Martin Landau, Byron, Byron Radcliffe, but I also call him the preacher. He's always preaching to God, but he also has a habit of putting shit on fire. So cleansing, that's what he does. Then we have Dwight Schultz, the same of the A-Team, the helicopter pilot. In here he's a little bit less less unstable. You've got his wife, Pan Potter, Nell Potter. What's that? What the fuck? Oh, sorry, no. Dwight Schultz is Paul Patter, and Neil Patter is his wife. And sorry, I need to write that shit down because Tori Parker is his daughter, and Lyle Potter is his smallest daughter. So for some reason, Tori and Neil are these hippie conventionist people who like to go on on these not strikes, but sabotaging big chemical companies with their signs and shit like that, and they get picked up usually easily by the police. Before I forget, there are two really important characters. Roland Fatty Esther, one of the one of the members that belongs with Jack Palance, and Martin Landau is he's a child molester, and then we've got Mark Smith, who's the bleeder. Apparently, that's all we know. We don't know why he bleeds. We don't know where he got that nickname from, but it sounds cool and creepy, right? Now, before I start with the spoiling and the nitpicking and the in-depth movie review, this movie basically what happens is a new doctor, Dr. Paul Potter, is being replaced for another doctor who Jack Palance thinks he killed. Jack Palance thinks this new doctor killed him, and he doesn't stand for that shit. So he's really working against him, and like Martin Landau is putting his coat on fire and running around, and Donald Pleasance says, "Yeah, he's eventually going to accept it." What can I tell them? Says Paul Potter. No, no, no. It's better that you wait. Okay, so the four most dangerous patients in this insane, because all the rest of the patients are medium or even at the lower level depressions, alcoholism, drugs. But these are the four most dangerous insane asylum inhabitants they have. Now, at some point, the power has a problem, and every store, every prison, every fucking like insane asylum, apparently they used electronic locks to be sure that they can't escape. But of course, being the power outage, click, they open the door like it's easy. It's like they open automatically. So you understand what's gonna happen, right? So these four crazies start to wreak havoc. Now, personally, the movie, it's a fun movie. It's not a really gore movie. You do see some blood. You do see some kills. It's still a horror movie. Like you said, it's horror comedy, by the way, because they're putting a little bit of comedy in there with Donald Pleasance. Donald Pleasance is like, he's drunk or off his rockers, and he's always like, when he's driving, he's like, I mean, Donald Pleasance without a mustache, without a beard. I said it in another movie review where he also didn't have a beard. It's not for him. He needs that beard. Is it because Donald Pleasance, or is it just his face? I don't know. But all these actors that I just mentioned, the crazies and the Dwight, the Potter family, they're pretty good characters. They're all fleshed out. They're all good people. So that's the reason why I'm giving it a 6. There's a creepy atmosphere going on, and because these crazies find the home of Paul Potter, and they're basically holding them hostage, they know how to get in, but they also know how to get out. So they're basically barricading everything, but they know they're around the entire house. So that's pretty creepy. In the dark, of course, because of the power outage. So that's the story. If you want to listen more, then if you want to see the movie first, then come back and listen. Or stay here and let's have some fun. So, the first kills you get are the unorderly that's on the floor with the extreme dangerous patients. Roland's Fatty Esther kills the orderly by picking him up and breaking his back by doing this. So there he goes. They have the keys from that door because that was not automatically gone. Then they see a doctor, and he sees them coming. He says, "Oh my God!" It's cool. They're all walking beside each other, and the cool thing is they keep the bleeder out of frame. There's a reason why, but that's for later. They kill the doctor. I think it's a lame death. They just, break his neck or something, and they get in the car. But now they get to the town, and it's everything. It's everybody for himself. They're looting stores. They go in the store, supplying store, with clothes, weapons, things like that. And everybody is clothing themselves, taking crossbows, taking a crossbow gun, a bow gun, taking these large, Rambo-like knives, Rambo-like knife, with the serrations and smaller weapons and so on. And then the bleeder takes this hockey mask on his face. Now the interesting part is that I should have looked this up, but I do believe that this movie came after Friday the 13th Part 3. Maybe I thought maybe they took this hockey mask that would look cool. That would look cool on Jason Voorhees. Let's give him that. And and Bleeder looked cool. And they see a van. They can all go in there easily. And then the Bleeder, who is the most ruthless one of the group, he takes this rake that he took from the store, with the three claws on, and he basically slashes his neck open, and a piece of skin is still on the rake. That's one of the gorier kills. Then you see him, I'm bleeding, he says. His entire mask, out of the holes from the nose, there's a lot of blood coming out, and he's just running away. So they go forth to the doctor's house, and they basically knock on. They knock because apparently Neil and Tori have been incarcerated because of their protesting. In jail, they meet this guy named Mark. In jail, they meet this guy, friendly guy, and Tori, she's kind of has a crush on him. And when Dwight Schultz character comes, let us take him with us. Let him take us with him. Let him go, and we'll. Okay, then he's free. Okay, says Paul Potter, and he says, we have to go now because I had to call the babysitter to watch over Lila. Now apparently Lila is in, and somebody knocks on the door. It's Martin Landau in this costume with a hat on, and he says, I got something for Paul Potter. He's not home. He puts his foot against the door. Paul Potter. No, he's not home. He's not home. I can take it for you. No, I'll come back later. And she closes the door. Meanwhile, Roland, the fatty, is already in the house. Martin is already in the house. They took a back route. They took the back door. Now the babysitter's boyfriend's coming, and he gets because he has to go to the bathroom. He gets his neck cut open, and then out of the blue, knives are coming out of the bed, so like this, and she's lying on the bed, and she's like, no, and she's getting out of the bed, and there you have the fatty, and he basically squeezes her to death. So you got 2 kills again, so 4 kills, no, 5 kills at total. Uh, then it's this is a cute scene, somewhat cute scene. Roland the Fatty, Esther, he comes to Lila Parker and he says, "Let's go to bed." She says, "No, no, it's way too early. It's way too early. I'm gonna draw." Do you have paper above? Yes. Do you have drawing chalks and pencils? Yes. Scissors? Yes. Okay, come above and I can make you a cool picture with a scissor. So I thought he's gonna rape her there and then, but apparently he's rather tame for a child molester. So the rest arrives. Lila tells, "Yeah, I couldn't find the babysitters anymore, but this big fat guy looked for me, and shit, it's big fatty Esther. He knows who he is because he knows all the names. He's a child molester. So the wife's like going crazy. They find the bodies of the 2 babysitters, one with a with his throat cut, the babysitter being broken in half. I mean, broken basically. And at this point on, they get attacked with a bow gun through the window, through the doors. The arrows are flying everywhere, and then Paul Potter yells to Jack Palance's character, Hank Andrews, "I didn't kill you," because the reason why they're doing it, like I said, they think they killed him because they were putting all their trust in him, and they yelled, "I didn't kill him. He's in the hospital in Philadelphia recovering from a fall. Please, you can call him. You can see it on TV. He's not dead. I did not kill him." He doesn't get a reply. Then, of course, the Donald Pleasance arrives, and everybody's yelling, "Don't get out of the car, come, get away, get away." He's like, "Why?" So he's, again, I think he was high all this movie long. Smoking a little bit more doobie, right? Mr. Pleasance having a pleasant time. So at this point he meets the preacher, Martin Landau, and he's like, "Byron, come to me, come to me. Let's hug it out. Let's hug it out, bitch." He eventually gets sliced in the ear. I think he's lost his ear. He goes back in the car. He's like, "Whoa, whoa." He's closing the window. "Why are you doing this?" He's trying to set the car on fire, but I don't think he does. And the car is still able to drive. And now is the big question: did they kill Donald Pleasance, their character, Dr. What was his name? Dr. Leo Bain? I don't think so. You don't see more than him like, "Oh, oh," and then eventually Jack Palance is, the preacher is standing there, and he's yelling because Dr. Leo Bain is yelling, "Remember our sessions with Job, please, please. And then the preacher says something from the Bible, and he wants to get in, and eventually you don't see anything anymore. It seems like they killed him, but it's weird because now in the house are the Potter family and that guy they saved. His name is Mark, and you probably know what I'm going for. At some point, they go for an all-out attack. The preacher's coming in, the fatty is coming in. The preacher gets attacked by Paul Potter. He gets knocked out because he was trying to set the basement on fire, and he gets knocked out. And then the fatty is coming. He's running like an asshole. But Lila, being so small, hits his chin. He falls, and then something. That's the first sign of weirdness happening. Mark is like, because he's working the entire way with the family, just barricading shit, protecting them, everything. He takes this cleaver and it's like, right in the back. He's like, ooh, he's crying. It's almost I almost had, compassion with him. And then he gets, then Mark takes a baseball bat and hits him so hard in the head that he basically dies. So after this, he's sitting there on the table, like, breathing. And Tori takes a big hug, and the rest is checking the house. And then we see, and that's a cool scene. That's a really inventive, cool scene. Now, we didn't know, actually, I kind of spoiled it. We didn't know what the name of the bleeder was. They called him Bleeder. But I didn't know, fuck! I shouldn't said Mark Smith, because then I can't use his name. So, yeah, it's the Bleeder. So, you see her hugging him, he's hugging her, then you see all the blood dripping on her. That's from his nose. She tastes the blood, and Neil Potter is there. Oh my god, it's the Bleeder. And he's like, he's giving her a tongue. And Tori takes a knife straight to the heart. He's like, oh! I thought he would put more of a fight. I think he actually fell in love with Tori, but okay. I should have said Mark. That gives away from the surprise, because his name is unknown. He uses an unknown name, and nobody in the hospital revealed his name. The Bleeder, they just called him. So you don't know if that's the Bleeder until that moment, where he basically, the first moment that's weird is where he just kills the fat guy without no hesitation, screaming like a banshee, and then, of course, the hugging part, and then the blood falling on her head, and she tastes blood, and then they see it's the Bleeder. I mean, that was a cool shot, That was a really cool shot. But okay, yeah. Sorry to. I wanted to give you guys as a surprise, but eventually, Jack Palance comes in, Frank Hawks with a crossbow. He's threatening to kill Paul Potter. He says, "You killed them. You killed them." And then he puts on the TV. Look at him. It's the doctor. He's all and well. He's now talking. He's saying, "I'm not calling them crazies. I'm calling them disadvantaged people." And she's like, "Oh no, no!" He starts to smash everything, and he says, "Get out of my way." He goes out of it. He's basically almost ashamed what he did, because the thing is with Frank Hawks, Jack Palance, is he's not okay. When he's in the van, he says he's gotta die. It's just a postman. He runs him over, and then he's still alive. Yeah, let's go back. So he's crazy, but he's that point he's crazy about the fact that his doctor got killed. So I don't know, man. It's just he realizes that the doctor isn't dead, and he also realizes that he made a fool of himself and that he overdid it. So that was somewhat cool of a notion. And then he goes out, and then he goes to a club with the Sick Fox playing. And he goes in, and he has this in his pocket a 9mm, and you've got this girl for some reason putting it in her mouth and sucking it like a lollipop. And then you have to see which world is actually crazier: our world outside the insane asylum, or in the insane asylum, because these people are sucking off dicks, sucking off guns. Sorry, dicks too. A band called the Sick Fox that like, I mean, they're singing that. I mean, he's laughing, Jack Palance, that he's kind of knowing that he's not the only sick person in the room. And that's, I believe, sort of where the movie ends. Now, the positives and the negatives. The positives are the four main crazies, right? The way they handle, the way they act, the fact that one guy is being an intruder. But what I didn't understand was that he was really fast to kill, Roland Fatty Easter, because he was one of his crew. Yeah, he didn't think of it. Also, did Donald Pleasance die? Did they kill Dr. Leon Bain? Or Leo Bain? Leo Bain, yeah. Was he alive? His car was gone? So I'm guessing he was alive. I'm guessing he just drove away. Shouldn't he go and get the fucking cops then? Or did he die and they put the car somewhere else? I'm not sure. Because when he's keeping the window down, because I think the guy was holding his fingers through the window, and it didn't hurt him with that, and he was still with a, not with an electronic slider, but with a wrench, like a wrench, a turning wrench, and he broke it off, and he's like, oh shit. So he opens the window. Jack Palance, Jack Palance, and then he starts to put those preaching things, and then we don't see what happens to Donald Pleasance. So he may be still alive. He may. But the fact is that he was he good? Yeah, for playing this eccentric, probably constantly smoking dope, because he believed in the power of love to help somebody. So he didn't believe in science. He believed in the power of love, hugging people, kissing people, that sort of shit. So that didn't go well for him. The Potter family, they're all good. Um, Tori Parker is the one who instigates to go to the protest with her mom Neil, and I thought, why are you dragging your mom? I mean, she said, yeah, we're probably gonna go up. We'll probably get up in jail this time. Probably, she says, probably. I mean, no, every time she said that. I mean, that's at some point the police do get enough of these people, right? And they get a longer jail sentence, right? I'm not sure how that works, but like I said, there she meets Mark, the bleeder, but I shouldn't said Mark. I should have used someone else, or just that person, or a cinnamon name. Damn it. It's one of the coolest moments of the movie where he kills the fatty and he is acting weird, and then Tori hugs him, and then the blood starts to flow on her head, and she tastes the blood, and she sees up, and she sees his face. I mean, under his nose is covered with blood, and then Neil says, "It's the bleeder, oh my god." And then he takes Tori's head and tries to kiss her, tongue and all, and then eventually Neil stabs him through the heart. I think that was a really cool idea. Really cool idea. That's why they kept him so in the dark. That's why they put a mask on him. They kept him in the dark. When they visited him in the insane asylum, he was always lying in his bed, sleeping, or lying under the sheets. He never shown his face, so that was a cool revelation. Like I said, the negative is, did Donald Pleasance die? I still don't know. What's another negative? I'm thinking, well, the movie's pretty great. That the bleeder would kill the fatty. He's one of his team members so easily. Okay, he has to remain he has to be the guy who helps them, but killing him like that with a cleaver in the back and then just smashing his head in with a baseball bat. And Donald Pleasance, how much I like the guy, he was sometimes a little bit over the top. Yeah. Against all will, going against all will, and yeah, it was sometimes you can't handle him. Yeah. So that's the only minus points I can give you. They also killed a cop that was dining with them, and they threw, I think, was it a gardening shear tool right into his belly, and you could see the blood. So you can see some blood, you can see some gore. The attacks are seen, you see the blood. Like I said, but it's not like severing limbs or shit like that, or you can clearly see the blood, with the meat cleaver in the back, you see the blood. So it's definitely a horror story, but I see what the comedy is like, especially with Jack Palance, driving that a postman. Poof. He drives him, and then the postman was complaining, "Are you crazy? I fell. You almost drive me over. I fell off my bike." And he goes back. Oh shit! So, okay. Um, Excellent movie. Alone in the Dark, 1982, 6.0. Go watch it. A lot of famous people, like I said, Jack Palance, Donald Pleasance, Martin Landau, um, Dwight Schultz from the A-Team, uh, and then a few, but I don't. Maybe you know these people. I didn't like the Potter family. I didn't gave all these women their actors' names, because there are a lot of actors' names, and I didn't know them, but maybe you know them. I wish you a nice time with this movie. I hope you subscribe, and see you next time for the next one.